just relax before you get pelted with questions.
Okay. We'll see. I mean, the English is not my first language, so
it'll be fine. It's not the language of a lot of people in this conference. So Susan, I'm going to introduce Annie, and then why don't you ask the first question, and then we'll just take it. Okay?
Okay.
And everybody in. Okay, welcome back to our Ask a Miner session. We want to thank Anny Jaramillo for being here and fielding your questions. English isn't her first language. She speaks it beautifully, but it's still putting her on the hot seat, and we appreciate it. Anny is the planning director for the Chede Mining Association, which produces Fairmined Gold. The Chede mine is in the Cauca region, or department, as they call it, of Colombia, which is in the southwest area of the country. So that's sort of kind of where you can picture Anny is from. We've had people from Chede speaking with our conference before. And thank you, Anny, for being here.
Thank you for the invitation.
So Susan, you're going to lead with a question from the last session, right?
Yeah, so we were just in the jewelry designer panel. And the big question that everyone was beginning to talk about was when a jewelry designer is hearing, sometimes they're hearing from the consumers now that they're saying, I don't want to buy jewelry that has anything from a mine. I don't want to buy mined material. And a lot of these jewelry designers, you know, are fair mined. So we understand a little bit about it, but how would you explain to a consumer who's looking to buy jewelry why they should buy jewelry that's been mined, that's from a mine source?
Okay. In this country, there is a huge problem, which is the 80% of the gold that we produce are illegal. So they don't accomplish any law or environmental authorities. So the way that these people found to legalize this gold is producing jewelry. So in that point, that gold is legal. So everybody is worried about that gold, and everybody wants to buy recycled gold. But in our case, in this country, that's a huge problem because this is the way that the illegal mining are, because the gold came from the earth. I mean, we have to mine. If the gold is new or old, every gold comes to the earth. So the best choice that we have as community, as person, is buy a gold that you know the origin. I mean, from the beginning, which is our case, which is the case of the artisanal mines and small scale mines. So we produce the gold with a small machinery, with a small production. We work in 1 hectare. I mean, it's a very small plant and mine, and we produce every year 22 kilos of gold that we employ 40 people. We move the economy of the region. I mean, more than 100 people depends of the activity because we are very far to the cities. So we are the only source of jobs in that area. So everything moves around it. So it's very important to know the origin because you can have the sensation to buy something that is recycled, but you really don't know what is the origin. So that is very important to know. It's important to know the source. That's the most important thing, because every recycled jewelry you don't know where mined, because at that moment was mined.
Well, and that's a really important point that you're making, that the illegal miners take the gold, turn it into jewelry, and voila, it's just jewelry now. Nobody's paying attention. So, and it's also really important as an answer to the last session's attendees that you're pointing out 40 people are employed, over 100 people's economic networks depend on the mining operations, and you're paying taxes and licenses for mining as well. So there's good that comes of it. Alexandra is asking if government regulation to require legalization would be possible. Is it possible for the government to rein in these illegal miners?
I mean, the problem is that the illegal mining is cheaper than legal. I mean, these people uh, don't pay any taxes or royalties. For example, we work in a mining area, in the deposit gold area. So there are too many illegal mines around us that they bring their gold, but they don't have to attend authorities visits. They don't have to pay any royalty. They don't have to pay all the things to the workers, the safety issues, that kind of things. So they don't worry about it because, I mean, the market still buy illegal gold because it's cheaper.
Does the government try to regulate in Colombia?
I mean, for example, in our case, we have an area to work. We have a contract with the government. So there are illegal miners in the area. We have to communicate to the authorities. So they went to the area. They put like a close. You can't mine, but they just leave us. So these guys just take off this habit, so even start to work again. So the mines are not in the cities. Colombia is a country with a very difficult access. So we are very close to the main city, but we are 2 hours driving a car. I mean, because there are not too many access. So there are places that the government, I mean, exists, but they are not focused in that. In the gold deposits are in that kind of areas. They are not in the cities. So it's very shameless because I really believe that all the miners, we can do the good things. I mean, we can mine and still receive a payment for that. It's not the problem is that we need to start to see the business in the long term, and the culture of the miner is just short term. I mean, it's take off and forget all the things. When I spend all my money, I came back and start to mine again. But that's the problem. So, for example, with these certifications, we are like we want to be an example for the other mines, small mines, and show them that if you do the good things, if you do like you have to do it. You at the end you are going to have results in the long term. So we have a business that we started say 2008, and we already we are continuing in the process, and we grew up. I mean, we start with 7 workers, and now we are 40. And I mean, we can provide a source, a very good job with everything. I mean, everybody wants to relate it with us because there are young people that start to think in the future. So that's the most important thing. Invite to the people to change the culture. You start to do the things good. I mean, the government at the end, they want, but they don't have the, I don't know how I say capacity.
They don't have the capacity, right?
Capacity to cover all the country. So the most important thing is being an example to the other small scale mines and start all this process of change.
Is there conflict between the Chede mine and the illegal miners? Is there any risk to you because of the illegal mining activity, or is everybody kind of leave each other alone there.
Not in our case, because I mean, we are very in an area that we have a, I don't know how I say in English, lows. I mean, the quality of the deposit is not very high.
Got it.
Yeah. So, for example, in other parts of the country, like in the center in Antioquia, that kind, they are so rich. I mean, they have 1,000 grams per ton. We only have 7 or 8 grams per ton. So it's not very attractive to this illegal big group of miners. So we have as people that, I mean, only take 1 or 2 grams per week, which is not too much. I mean, it's like to eat, to live. I mean,
Got it.
so there's not too many problems with them here. They are still legal. They don't care the environment. They don't have all the safety matters, but we don't have any problems with them. I mean, and we are no authority to take off. I mean, it has to do the country. So in this problem is not a. We try to, because we in the past we tried to make like an agreement with them, but they didn't want, because they have to pay all the taxes and royalties and that kind of thing. So they decided, no, we don't want to work with you, and we are going to stay in this position. But it's not too many. But I mean, we count 20 people in our area that work in a legal way. And the other issue of them that they don't see is that the cost, the price of the gold is very low. I mean, it's very sad. I mean, because it's like 60% of the price of the gold.
Well, that's a question that Christine is asking. She was asking, do you price your gold based on the London FIC, or how do you price your gold?
And in our case, we sell the gold here in Colombia because we can't export our gold, because I don't know if I told you, but we are like criminals here in Colombia. I mean, we accomplish the law, we are certified mine, but the image of the mining here in Colombia is very bad, and in the world. I mean, the media is not help us.
Right.
So we want, when we started the process of certification, we thought that we can export our gold, because it's natural, it's a legal gold, it's a certificate gold. So we try, and the banks say, no, you can't, because you can receive any foreign currency. So we have to sell our gold here in Colombia. So there is a company which is certificate too, that buy our gold, and that company export the gold. So we pay like a percent. We pay a person for the price of the gold in the London price.
Okay.
So that's the way that we negotiate our gold.
All right, that's interesting. I wasn't aware of that. And that's. Go ahead.
I have a question about. Sorry, I think I was breaking up. I didn't know if you had a follow-up for that, but I have a question about, we had a panel on equity and gender equity in small-scale gold mining, and ARM was a part of that. But you said you have 40 people at your mine, and I wanted to know what position you hold at the mine, how many women are at the mine, and what positions do those women hold?
We are 6 women of the 40 people, which is a lot, because this is a very men business, and it's very difficult for the culture. I mean, I was in Chile 10 years ago, and I tried to get into a mine, and they say, no, you can't, because you are a woman, and you are a bad luck.
Mhm.
So, because they say that the mine is a woman too.
That's
So,
right.
so we are in this moment. We are 6 women. We are work in different areas. I'm a mining engineer. I do technical job and administration job too. We have our person in charge of the safety is a woman too, and we are preparing a woman to start in the plant because the work inside of the mine is very hard. It's very, I mean, they have to remove the material from the floor, so it's very tough. So we are preparing the woman for this administration works of the activities, for example, in the laboratory that requires that I think that a woman is perfect for that. So we already start with this change because I was the first woman and we start to move just a little step by step.
Step by step.
So
What made you decide to study mining?
because of my father, I mean, my father is a miner since he was 12 years old. I mean, he was a little boy when he started to work in the mines. So he's a very smart person. He start a small business and and I watched him working. So I decided to start when I started the university. It was 45 students, only 5 women, and it's the same thing. I mean, it was tough. I mean, in big mines, in big scale mines, it's the same situation. You think that it's only in the small mines, but it's everything. I mean, it's a very tough job. I was, I mean, I've been with Chede Mine for 4 years, but I used to work in a big companies, in a small companies, different kind of companies on field, and it's a process for us as a women. I mean, we need to start because the miners even they have to change his language because they are very rude in some cases. So it's a process. It's a cultural change. And I'm very happy because I see that if you show it that you can do the things good, you are very responsible, the people can work and start to understand how is work with a woman in this area. So I'm very happy. I mean, the things has changed then since I started, and they're going to continue changing. I mean, it's very important. I mean, we need both
Yeah.
to do a good work. So
Kyle wants to know if you feel you and the other Chede miners have adequate safety in your job, and how does the safety of your mine compare to the non-Fairmined miners in your area?
the safety, I mean, is everything. I mean, we are 1.5 year ago a legal mine, but a small mine, not certificate mine, but legal, has an accident, and 2 guys died because lack of safety. Because the safety is an investment. I mean, it's one of is for me the most important investment in mining. It's a very risk job. I mean, one of the most risky jobs in the world. So part of the of the premium, I mean, like 30%, 40% of the premium we invested in safety issues because I mean it's underground mine, so there are risks because we don't have a natural light, because we are an closed space, because we have gases, we have everything possible that you have in a underground mine in a small scale.
Right.
So I mean, and I'm very glad to say that one in the audits is one of the main things that the auditor review all the time. The safety matters, safety and environment matters because both are very important for us.
Okay.
So it's very important, the most important thing.
Christina's still trying to understand the pricing. So, and I think the heart of her question is, do you as Fairmined miners get a fair price for your gold relative to the market? And, you know, she's posing an example, like if today it's 1,800, are you working in grams or ounces?
Grams.
Okay, I'm not going to make her do mental math and speak English at the same time, Christina, but she's saying if it's 1,875 an ounce in London or Kitco, how does that compare to what you would get?
I mean, we have two things to review: the price in Kitco and the dollar.
Right. So you've got rates and your discount and then your premium.
Yeah. So we the company who buys our gold. I mean, they charge 3% of the final price of the gold. So when we negotiate the price in Kitco at the AM,
Okay.
so
First
so
of
we
it.
negotiate, yeah, and then at the same time we negotiate the currency because it is the other factor. They have to pay the royalties, the taxes. After that, they charge 3% of the final price, which is a very good price
Yeah, that's
for
not
us. It's very good because in the illegal market is 6% that they pay the final price. So
all right.
it's very good. And then we have the premium
Right.
price.
Which buffers you against the fluctuations too. Anna wants to know, I don't know if this is Anna Colombia or Anna Oakland. We have two Annas. She wants to know if there's anything like a union or collective for Fairmined miners there. Or for miners in general, I'd be curious about.
I mean, if I understand the question, we are just only one mine and we don't have any collective group or something like that. We tried. I know that Alliance for a Responsible Mining start process with other mines in the area,
Okay.
but they didn't want to continue with the process.
Oh, so they started it and stopped it?
Yeah.
You know why?
Yeah, because because the how I say the parameters of the permine certifications are higher than the authorities' expectations, you know?
Okay.
So they at the beginning they have to invest to improve their things, and they didn't want to, and it was a shame because we were in the same process, and we have to invest some money, but with the price we already improve the infrastructure, the conditions, the relation with the community, because they are afraid to start. That's the problem, that we are afraid.
Okay. So, and the rest of Anna's question was, she's trying to figure out how you shift the balance of power if you don't have any collective representation. And mining is already sort of an outlaw activity in your country.
I mean, we are a mine itself. We are not a cooperative. And the most important thing is the goodwill of the owner. Because in some cases it's even more difficult a cooperative because there are too many people to with a different opinions too. So in this case, in our case, it was very difficult to convince him at the beginning, but he's very happy because the mine is running by itself. I mean, so That's now in our case. In our case, it was very easy because he was only one person to convince.
It's a difference.
I have a question. So do you know, sorry, I'm jumping in on this one, but what have you spent the premiums on since you've been at the mine in the 4 years? What have the premiums been spent on?
I mean, no, we start, we need to report all the price. Every 3 or 4 months, we make like a report. So we invest the price in 4 different lines. We have the community, the workers, safety and environment, and production. I mean, because we really believe that the four things has to work, not only one, not just the production, and not only the community, because we need to work, because we have to be so sustainable in the time, and so everything has to work like a change. So we spend in our focus in the community are our workers, his families, and the kids. So we are making some projects with the school. We already start so many projects, but the coronavirus stopped some projects. It's a shame. But we start like invest in the sports because we are having some problems in the community with drugs and pregnancy with the child. So we start to focus on these kids in the other activities because I mean we are really far from the near city. So there are not too many things to do and we are far from everything. So we start to work with the kids and we start to improve our place. So we build places to the workers can eat and different activities. I don't know how I say like health days that we take doctors to the community because there are no hospital in the area. So we are improving our plan. We built the sedimentation tanks because we had a very small one and we improve with a big infrastructure to clean the water, which is very important for us. I mean, we don't use mercury, but we still use different chemicals for produce the gold. So the important thing at the end, it was a very big project for us, and it was deliver the water in a better shape than we received the water because, as you know, there are illegal mines in the areas. They don't care the water. So we took this water, we processed that water in our plant. We sediment this water, and then we have, I don't know how I say, phytoremediation, which we manage the heavy metals with plants. So the price was for pay that process, and we are very happy. I mean, our water is crystal. I mean, it's very good for the community because there's water that goes in the creek. So we are investing in these things, and everybody asking. I mean, there is a point that you don't have to invest in that kind of things. And I always the same answer always. I mean, you always can improve the things. You always think all the things could be better always. So if we are going to spend the price in these lines that I already told you, we are going to still invest because it's never ending. I mean, the most important thing is that we stay there for a long time.
Anna wants to, we've got time for one more question and then we're going to be running out because we have another session at 4:30. Anna wants to know if you were affected when the gold mines in Colombia were frozen by the government And did that make it difficult for some of the mines to maintain their Fairmined certification?
I don't get it. Can you repeat the question, please?
I'm not sure I understand it either, but apparently there were gold mines in Colombia that were frozen by the government or shut down. Susan, do you know
I think that she's talking about, Annie, before you said that you have to sell through a broker because you're considered illegal. So I think that banking structure still exists that Anna's asking about.
I mean,
and Christine,
if I understand, I mean, the government in this country, I mean, the government is the owner of the ground, yeah. So they decided which areas are delivered to the people. So there are some restricted areas that you can't mine. I mean, the natural parks. Areas close to the cities, that kind of things. But the rest, you can sign an agreement with the government. You have to pay the royalties for that, and that's it. Is that the way it works? The problem is that there are too many illegal mines because there are too many big areas, big titles of the big companies that they don't use. They just have it, but they are not in there. So
Right.
there are too many people that goes there to mine because nobody there.
Yeah. I think she's asking, there was a time when, after the elections of your new president, when they froze bank accounts of some of the Fairmined miners. So she's asking about that time.
Okay, I got it.
When they
different thing. I mean, we have the same problem today, because we can have a bank account.
right.
Because we are illegal. It's a huge problem because that promotes the illegal mine.
Right.
I mean, because you can negotiate with a legal company without a bank account.
Well, and it keeps the illegal miners mining because they need something for currency. How else do they pay for things? So yeah, it's a vicious self-sustaining loop.
It is very sad because I mean, I was in so many different meetings around this because everybody wants to fight against the illegal mine, but you don't have a bank account. So I mean, if you are gonna work with cash, it's gonna be illegal.
Right.
That's for sure. I mean, we want to change our mind for a person. Today is a person, the owner of the mine. We want to build like a company because in front of the law is better.
Mm-hmm.
But we can't because we don't have a bank account. I mean, if we have that problem, we are certified mine. We are legal. We are a mine to show. If we have that problem, everybody has
exactly
the same problem. If that move promotes the illegal mining, and it's very sad. But the other problem, and I understand the banks are private business, and they want to take care of the I don't know if is the correct term, like wash money.
Yes, no money laundering. Yeah,
money laundering. Okay,
yeah.
So they don't want to afford to this, so they say all the miners are the same, all are illegal or all are criminals. So we are stopped. When we started with this certification, we were so happy because we can export our gold, but we can't. We just can't because we don't have. We can't receive any foreign currency.
We could ask you questions all day. You have so much for us, and I'm afraid we're out of time, and the next guy is waiting for the next session to start in another room. But muchas gracias por hablar con nosotros, Anny. Y tu inglés es excelente.
Mi inglés es muy malo.
No. So thanks, everyone. Susan, you have one more thing?
Next year, you can ask us the questions.
Okay.
We could have done that this year. It should have been a two-way street, but okay.
Okay, gracias, Anny.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nos vemos y los invito. O sea, you are invited for our mine when you want. I mean, everybody is are invited for our mine.
That was fantastic. All right. Bye.
Bye.